At the beginning of each 4-H year, you may be handed a stack of paperwork to fill out for your 4-H member. Well, now we are going to start using an online tool and allowing you to manage this stuff from your phone or a computer. So let's introduce you to zSuites. To access this website, you will go to 4h.zsuite.org and you will need to sign up. This is going to be the parent or guardian who will probably do the majority of the sign up information, the person who's filling out those paper documents. You want to create a password. And a PIN. And the PIN is important because that is for you as an adult to access your account, and your kids will be able to get into their own profiles but not have access to yours. And then you want to find the state of West Virginia. And you can select a county. So here you would select a county. If you're registering to attend one of our state events and you're not a part of a county 4-H program, you're going to select the first one on the list, which is no county affiliation. And then you're going to click Let's Go. Well, many of you all have been in 4-H for many years, and you may get a message that looks like this, that this email is already linked to an account. If that's the case, you can go back and you can click on Forgot Password, and you'll be able to access your account. You'll find that some of your information has carried over and some of it has not. Once you click Forgot Password, put in that email that you tried to sign up with, and you will get an email that looks similar to this, and it will ask you to reset your password. Congratulations on signing up and setting up your first account. You will now sign in, and you will see if you haven't been in the system before, you'll have your primary profile. If not, you might have multiple members if they got brought over from previous 4-H years. So as a parent, you're going to go into your primary profile to sign up your household members. So I can see that there are 3 people with this household so far. And because this information was in there before, it says Jones household, but that is your primary person. So we're going to edit our household members, which we can do here, or we can do on the left-hand side. We're going to click Edit, and for primary, I'm going to change that to the name of the primary person that is in charge of the profile. I can see that I have 2 members that are attached to my profile, and that's great. Maybe I want to add another member. I have a new 4-H'er that's joining this year. I can add that person here, and I can choose if it's a member or a parent. And right now the word parent signifies any kind of an adult, so if you're just a 4-H volunteer but maybe not necessarily a parent, you can use that option. Under birthday, you can click on the top and find the year and then month and a date. And if you want to go ahead and add a club, you can. It will automatically select the county that you're first associated with, and then it'll give you a drop down of clubs. At the top, you'll see members at large and volunteers at large. Those clubs are for our 4-H members who aren't necessarily participating in a traditional community or specialty club. They're coming to our state and county events like camp and weekends and overnighters. And so that's where you would register if you're only participating in those events. Now, if you're in a club, you go ahead and you can add that club there and hit save. You can see there's a place you can upload pictures, or you can choose one of their preloaded avatars. Now, we have claimed our household. We can see everyone who's a part of it, but we're not actually registered for the current 4-H year. That we're going to do on the left sidebar under the word enrollments. So we're not going to worry about the parent right now. Let's enroll Jennifer Jones. Jennifer is a clover bud. On the first page, this is kind of like that normal enrollment card that you would get. Basic information on how to get a hold of this person, their parents, and in various ways. So you can see some of these have asterisks and some of them don't. The one with the asterisks are the required fields. We would appreciate you filling out as many as possible, but you won't be able to move forward without filling out the ones with asterisks. You can select an option, or if you don't wish to provide your information, you can do that as well. Under place of residence, this has to do with where you live within the state. It's something we have to report in our federal reporting. So if you live on a farm, that's easy enough. And then I will say the majority of West Virginians are going to live in a town under 10,000 people or a rural non-farm area. We have very few towns in our state that have more than 10,000 people within the corporated limits. So majority of people are going to be a town under 10,000 or on a farm. Then you're going to put in emergency information. And then ask some questions down here at the bottom if anyone in your family is involved in military services. It does ask for grade. Again, that's something we have to report to the federal government. And we can put in counties and our school information. Second household. This is a very valuable part. If there is a second parent who doesn't live at your household, that should also receive communication for that child. So at first it's just a yes or no question. So this one, we aren't going to have a second household. You can always save your information here at the very bottom of the screen if you want to fill a little bit out and then come back and continue working on it. Or you can go ahead and click next. If you filled everything out, it won't try to stop you at the bottom. If you have missed a field, it will tell you exactly what you're missing so you can go back and finish it. Here are all of our various waivers for 4-H. So in the past, you filled out paper versions of these and turned them in. From this point forward, you can manage all of this stuff electronically, and you'll just be asked to update things from time to time instead of having to fill it out brand new for every event and year coming. So the very first one that we'll see on this one is a 5 to 17-year-old member code of conduct. It requires the signature, type signature of the member and the parent. Then we have a media release. So yes or no, and the parent signature. Youth transportation. So how will your child be getting to and from an event? So there are several in here. There is, do you give permission for a person working with the activity to transport your child? Yes or no? Will you be dropping them off? If you can't drop them off, can someone else drop them off on your behalf? And then you give us the information of who that might be. And you can put up to 3 people here. This might be if they are arriving without adult supervision. So do they have permission? And could they be riding a bus or maybe walking to a meeting? So tell us how they're going to get there if they're not supervised. If your child is at least 16 years old and can drive themselves, you can give consent, or we know this is a clover bud, they're not even old enough to drive. And then again, acknowledging that you have said this is how your child can be transported to and from 4-H events. Then we have our health form. So we have our emergency contact information. So I would recommend putting in here the parent's name and how to get a hold of them. You can put a second person in, so maybe the second person in the household. You're required to give one, but two is wonderful. Do you have insurance? Yes or no? If you do, filling it in. They want to know your physician's name and how to get a hold of them. And do you have any allergies and how to handle that? The second part is for medications. Will your child be on any medications? And if so, giving us information on dosage and when they take that, which you would then check in with a nurse, healthcare provider at whatever event it may be. Do you give permission for over-the-counter medications to be administered? And then there's a couple of open-ended questions on any additional information that may need to be provided. And then again, a signature at the bottom saying that you've accurately filled out the information. The very last one is new. We don't even have a paper form for it at the moment, but it is asking if your child would need any accommodations while participating in our event. And so you'll see that there's 3 answers. You as a family, you have 2, yes or no. If your county has entered the data on your behalf, we hope that you will take this opportunity to change it to a yes or no for our records. Now we move into the clubs and the projects. So if we brought your information from our old system, it may have a 4-H club listed here. It may not, or the club may be wrong. So if you want to add a club, you pick what county, what club, and click the orange button for add a club. This child is currently attached to 2 clubs. Right now, the primary club is Fourfold Fun, and the secondary club is Example Club. This may be important if your kid participates in a community club, as well as some kind of specialty club like Teen Leaders or Livestock or Shooting Sports. So you can change which one's primary if you wish, and then you can add projects. Some of you may not take projects, some of you may. So let's take a look at a project. So when you click on Add Project, at the very top of the list, you have No Project. That's going to be really valuable if you don't take a 4-H project or if you're just participating in events. This is 4-H is a project that we recommend for all of our first-year members. Clover Buds, which this young person is a Clover Bud, is going to select number 3 and add it. Okay. For this example, I'm going to show you adding another one. A Clover Bud is not allowed to enroll in another one, but I want to show you what this looks like. A little different than the previous enrollment card. This is all by topic area. So those of you that have been in 4-H for many years, you may know what the name of your book is, but you're going to be looking for the topic area. So let's say that you want to participate in swine. So swine. And then it's going to ask you a year. And you've been in 4-H for many years, and you may not know. So you have an I don't know what year. And that's fine. Your county office is going to review this information, and they can update it with the right year for it. So let's say that they're just starting. So we're going to do year 1. Notice it says select a record guide to. So we'll add that. And then we're going to look for a record guide. And this is going to be a market animal, because we're going to show a market hog at the county fair. And we're going to add it. And now you can actually do your record guide electronically if you wish. If you really don't know what project you want to be in, there is a I don't know feature at the top. And again, your county office can fix it for you later on. If you selected way too many, you can always change those before moving to the next one. And then we get to our last page, and it says check out. And it costs $0 to be a West Virginia 4-H member. Only our events and other things may have a monetary fee. So just to enroll in 4-H, it's $0. You hit submit, and you have success. Your county office, you can see it now says pending for approval. Your county office gets notified, and they will approve your membership and make any changes that are necessary for club and project enrollment.